The sacred is revealed in the ordinary. There is a beauty in this. But how do we discover the mystery of the sacred in our seemingly mundane existence? Welcome to Revealed, a podcast sponsored by Resurrection Catholic Parish in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's join our hosts, Katie McAllister and Tony Pichler, as they explore the lives of people, organizations, and resources that will help us delve into the sacredness of the ordinary.
Well, welcome to another episode of Revealed, where we have a guest in our studio, Paige Grube. Paige is local to Green Bay, and she's actually a filmmaker, which is kind of cool. So, hi, Paige.
Hello.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit about who you are? Who is Paige?
Yes. Oh gosh, this question. So I grew up in Wisconsin, so I'm from Kiel. I went to film school in San Diego, Catholic film school, and would consider myself a humanitarian in probably every aspect. So, after my film degree, I thought, well, I have to, use this to, show humanitarianism in the best way. So I currently work for Shift Visuals. They're a production company locally in Green Bay. And I have hobbies, which include I'm a florist part-time. So I like to be creative and I like to be outside. I have a dog that is like my child, so he's very spoiled, yes. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, thanks. So you produced and filmed the Seeds of Life documentary, and we've highlighted that here at Resurrection as well. It chronicles the work of Sister Maria Marciano in the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And just curious, how did you get involved with that project?
Yes, that's kind of a story in itself. So I have always wanted to do mission work, and I was working a corporate job about 4 years ago, and I had gotten a phone call from Jim Fitzgerald, who's in the documentary. He's locally in Newton. He has a great relationship with the Dominican and Haitian sisters and what they're doing out there. And so I had met him when I was actually in high school and kind of left my phone number with him, said if there's ever an opportunity for me to go on a mission trip, I'd love to, but they're expensive. So I never pulled the trigger on that. And, years later, about 10 years later, I did get a phone call when I was working at this corporate job. And he said, I have a spot that someone dropped out of the trip. They can't make it. Do you want to go? And without hesitation, I said yes. And then asked, when do we leave? And he says, in 2 weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
So I had to...
Quickly.
Yes. I had to get my vaccinations. I had to kind of accelerate everything. And I ended up having to step down from my position at my job because I didn't have the time off. But I thought, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and I need to take it. So I went to Haiti the first time in 2016, I believe it was, and met Sister Maria and just absolutely was blown away by her mission. She is incredible. The amount of changes she has made and generational changes for people in the Dominican and Haiti is unbelievable. So after I got back from that first trip, I spent about 2 years fundraising, coming up with the project, the way I was going to go about it, the questions, and then I rented gear and I found crew and I decided, okay, this is real. Now I have to go do it. And so I went out there for 2 weeks in January of 2020, so right before
oh my goodness.
COVID hit, so it was perfect timing. Yeah.
Well, then that's perfect because then you got to have all that film that you had to edit during COVID,
honestly,
during lockdown.
It worked out perfect. Like, I was laid off from my job anyways, like when I had gotten back because of COVID. So I really worked, didn't get paid, but I worked full time
in other ways.
Yes, yes. So it was full-time documentary. So it really worked out perfectly.
So what most inspired you about Sister Maria and her work amongst the poor?
Well, I would say when I met her first, she was intimidating, but in a great way. You know, she has so much going on. She has so many ideas in her head. but also that the fact that she's a woman and she's doing all of this amazing changes. You know, she is out there in her jeans and polo shirts, and she's digging trenches, and she's in a bulldozer, and she's doing all of this stuff that...
Not in a habit, though. She doesn't wear a habit.
No, she doesn't. But, you know, all of these things that are very associated with men, and she needs to get it done, so she just does it. And that was inspiring to me. So she also is, you know, her tough love is very intimidating, but it's necessary, you know. That's the thing that sets her apart from a lot of other people doing the work that she does, because she doesn't just give handouts. She wants people to learn and to retain the knowledge and then apply it, which it really sets her apart. I always compare her to like a Mother Teresa, because that's who I immediately thought of when I met her.
Mm-hmm. So what has been the reaction to the documentary? You release it. How's the feedback been?
Well, I released it in January 2022, and it's been a whirlwind since then. I booked the venue before I finished the documentary so that I knew I would get it done. Mm-hmm. And I've been submitting it to festivals, and it's had great response. I have gotten into 10 festivals so far, out of 33 that I applied to. So I am shocked. You know, my goal was to get into one film festival.
There you go.
And it's surpassed that. It's won 3 awards so far.
Cool. What awards?
It's won Best Human Rights Documentary and in Montreal, Canada, and in Toronto, Canada. And then it won Best Humanitarian Documentary at the Duluth Superior Film Festival.
Very cool. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Thank you.
So what's the future of the project now in terms of, you know, you're in these film festivals, but now what?
Well, my dream has always been to see my film on PBS. So really that would be the main goal. Once, so, you know, with the festival routes, it's difficult to have it available online for anyone, because festivals want it to be premiered or shown at their places to attract people. But I have DVDs made, and I would love, you know, to eventually get in touch with PBS and have a you know, showing through them, which I'm just trying to be respectful with the film festivals. But eventually, I think my last one is in February 2023, the possibility. And then after that, hopefully in the spring, I'll be able to look for more, you know, ways to get it online or distribution.
So if there's any PBS personnel listening to this podcast, contact Paige Grube.
Yeah, connections. Do you have any other projects that you kind of have in the hopper or thinking about doing?
I do. You know, I'm looking for human stories, right? I like to tell, you know, I like to focus on, you know, women doing a lot of amazing things, and just, you know, focusing on humanitarianism and whatever that looks like. So there is a strip club in in the UP in Iron Mountain. I want to do a story about how dancing has created a safe space for women and helped women to become financially stable and able to leave abusive relationships through dancing. So it's kind of the empowerment of the women who aren't talked about much, or aren't, you know, it's kind of a taboo subject matter, but I kind of want to tell that story in a beautiful light, empowering light, rather than the whole, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Not to shame people or to...
Yeah, which is a different perspective than normally we would think about, right? Like the abuses that happen maybe at clubs like that, you know, and maybe mistreatment of women, etc. But you're seeing it as a way to escape some of the abuses that they're trying to get away from.
Yeah, especially at this club, because it's owned by a woman who was able to leave her abusive relationship. And then it's kind of like a safe haven for women who want to make money, need to, you know, have a stepping stone to a next life or a next career, or take care of their children. And this is where she's providing the space. So they have, bouncers, they protect the women. They have rules, no drugs. You can't be drunk when you're dancing. And I've been to the club and met the woman in charge, and it's a very, very cool story. So
that's kind of shedding light onto, an otherwise dark topic. And
very much.
Not everything is as it seems,
Exactly. And, I think that the interest level for this kind of a story is, I think a lot of people would want to watch and see. And I'm trying to figure out, how to tell the story without making the women feel vulnerable or afraid. So it's going to be a bit of a process in pre-production just to get to know the girls a little bit more and gain their trust, because that's one thing I've learned is, when I visited the club, it was, who is this girl coming in here to try to expose us? Well, no, I'm trying to support you and, be your voice that can get you, your story out to the Midwest, especially because it's kind of a taboo thing here. So
yeah, wow. Interesting project.
Yeah.
Besides, maybe including film, but where do you see your life heading in the future?
I think in my future, I want to continue to create projects through, whether it's through film or through flowers or just in my daily life, to inspire people, to kind of be a safe space for people, to not be judgmental, to really just live life in the most fulfilling and beautiful way that I can. And a lot of that is through serving others and through, working with nonprofits and volunteering my time. I don't really know, where I'm going to end up, or, if I'll get married, if I won't get married, if I'll have kids. I don't really think about a lot of that stuff too hard because, thankfully I'm busy, so I don't have a lot of time to dwell on, the where am I going to be in 5 year question. But I like to just take every day and try to find the good in it and kind of be a supporting member of the community too, in ways that I know how to.
So kind of going off of that, in your filmmaking, where do you feel and where do you see the spiritual and the holy revealed through your projects and through your processing?
That's a good question. So for my day job, my Head Shift Visuals, we do a lot of work with nonprofits, and that alone it's a great feeling for us to be able to not only help locally with the folks that need to be heard the most, but also it's fulfilling for us. We get to create a project that they're so thankful for and use our skills in the ways that we know how to make the community a better place. So again, it goes back to that humanitarianism that I think is important, especially for when you think about spirituality. It's much more than just going to church. It's, you're living it truly in the community, and you're trying to be a light for people and an advocate for people. We have a lot of homeless in the community right now, and it can be scary for people, but they're people, and any of us could find ourselves in that position. And it's important that we all support each other and kind of find the human beauty in all people.
Before we close, Paige, just want to ask you, how do people access the Seeds of Life documentary? How can they get a hold of that?
So right now there are copies available at Resurrection Parish. There's a limited number. So, if you want to see it right now, that would be a great way. If you'd like to wait, until it makes the festival rounds, it will be probably available, I would say, by spring or summer of next year, 2023.
Okay. Paige, you've been an amazing guest on our podcast. You're an inspiring young woman who has done so much with the gifts that you've been given in filmmaking and bringing beauty to the earth. And you've touched the lives of many, many people through the film festivals, people here in town, people that have seen your work, however they've seen your work. So thanks for all you've done for our community and really for the community of humanity at large.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. I'm happy to be able to be healthy enough and young and spry to be able to do all these things. So thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been Revealed, a podcast sponsored by Resurrection Catholic Parish in Green Bay, Wisconsin.